All right, folks, we are here for the last streamed coverage game for the 2022 Day 1 Ultimate Championships here in Ototahi, Christchurch, Hagley Park North on Bob Dean's Field. We have Hills Blackthorns facing off against WOOF. Now, Hills Blackthorns, that might be an unfamiliar name to most of New Zealand Ultimate. That's partly because Australia is a very, very large country. They've sent across a team, Hills Blackthorns, who have come across to compete, who have put on a bit of a showing themselves. This will be our first time seeing them on stream, although big fans of UltiTV, particularly throughout the Southern Hemisphere, may remember them from only a couple of weeks ago at the Canberra Cup at the beginning of March, rather. So, same as all the others, we've got ourselves a game to 13, 75 minutes on the clock. Hills Blackthorns playing in the green. You can see them on your screen at the moment. Their opponents, WOOF, an Otago-based team in the women's division, will be their opponents.
So this is our first quarterfinal that we are streaming, and the last game of the day. Conditions are relatively the same. It's getting a bit cooler as the sun goes down, but both teams are kind of, having had 4 games already today, going to be running a little bit low on reserves potentially, so it might be a case of who can really tap the last of their energy. And also, New Zealand teams quite often play each other very frequently and know a lot of people on the other line. It's always a different game when you don't have familiar faces standing across from you and you don't know what their strengths or weaknesses are. You have to just play really honestly and responsibly to whatever they're doing.
And we're going to see how WOOF respond here against what to them is an unknown quantity.
Absolutely, and we've had a bit of a delay in starting the game just as we're organizing which teams are in which quarter, so thank you for sticking with us. WOOF are just having their final chat. They've got a lot of energy, ready to meet is it Hills Blackthorns, apologies. So where are Hills Blackthorns coming from originally, did you say?
That's a great, Australia. That's about as much information as I'm able to give you. I'm really, really terrible with geography, to be honest. Couldn't find my way out of a wet paper bag. They are from, of course, courtesy of our UltiTV crew, who know far more than they ever let on. New South Wales are going to be the home for the Hills Blackthorns, who are here on a special trip across to see how they perform at Division 2 in New Zealand.
I think in some cases, maybe the drive from Dunedin or Otipoti or wherever the WOOF teammates are hailing from might have been longer than the flight over from New South Wales.
Quite possibly, yeah. So, you know, the travel fatigue might not be as much of a factor in this match as one might expect for an international opponent. Now
we see Hills Blackthorn ready with the disc, preparing their pull, and now we see WOOF in some lovely handmade shirts. A little bit of arts and crafts at home before the tournament, maybe a bit of team bonding.
Lorenzen has the disc for Hills Blackthorns. Hopefully her ankles will hold up to the drying conditions. The disc goes up and it's fading towards that near sideline. Gonna land down out of bounds.
So as it has been during the course of this day, the prevailing wind is from the far side of the field to the close side of the field. It has changed direction a little bit. It's now almost maybe a little bit towards the left-hand side of your screen. It's a stiff crosswind basically though.
Yeah. Chandran with the disc to bring it to the center of the field.
We see a zone. We see the Australian players setting up in a cup. They are kind of creating a big wall right in front of the disc with some backup players behind them. So there's a lot of space on the far side of the field, but it's tough to get there in this wind. That swing to the nice tall pass, but there is a call as well. That's a tough one. It was a foul called off the disc. We see Simmons and Giesler talking about it on field at the moment. When you don't know a team as well, it can be good to take an extra couple seconds just to make sure that everyone's on the same page when you're communicating about these things. I think they're debating whether this foul call affected the play, which then resulted in a turnover. So it looks like it's an accepted foul. Turnover stands, though. Yep, so disc will be turned over. Australia now with the short field. Great hand signals on the field. So we're about to have our first look at offense from Australia, from Hills Blackthorns.
Goldstiver kicks things off. Big touch, but it's high. There's chance.
Ursula got under that and gave it a bit of loft that maybe wasn't needed, wasn't wanted from for WOOF, but another WOOF player able to ensure that D.
So WOOF have a chance to go back.
Oh, that wind is picking up.
And how? We were expecting it in the sort of early afternoon, but it's a little bit later in the day for how blustery it is. Nice and high blades over early, but it's kept alive.
Simmons with the disc now, looking to Ursula again. I'm expecting those two to have quite a few touches. Downfield now. I think WOOF have some newer players on their team that they're trying to develop. So they're trying to, and Chandra with big fakes, maybe trying to spread give some experience to some newer players and teach the whole team. And unfortunately, that was just to the ground. Hills Blackthorn now taking it to the middle. Some good breaks, early breaks, but a little high.
Oh, Goldstiver's pass goes a little bit awry, but it's going to be pulled in by Lau. Comes back midfield, tumbles off the hands. WOOF with a shot to go back.
Simmons again with the disc. And just too floaty.
Lorenzen applying pressure early, goes through. Goldstiver can't connect with it this time.
This is going to be a bit of a scrappy game, I imagine. A little bit of contact on the disc. A foul called, accepted foul from what we're hearing. So the disc is going to stay with WOOF. These are the first hand signals I've seen all day.
I didn't want to be the one to say it.
Ursula's faking off the long look.
Oh, can't connect.
Number, can't catch the number, but another look at offense here for Hills Roxburgh.
Perriman goes through, can't connect.
That's maybe a last game of the day kind of miscue.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's a little bit of that sort of late early rust kicking back in.
Maybe we have our own late early rust. Chandra looking for the disc.
Big shot puts up. Who's there for it?
That's a distance look. A big floaty disc now. We now have a high side disc for WOOF with the short field, so they're going to want to be economical about what they're doing with the disc right now. We see match being called. Chandra now looking to pick up the disc. We have a Flik high side force. Great inside break, beautiful, making it look easy.
Big
Simmons
shot.
To finish off that point.
Nicely found. Well finished there by WOOF to put them on the board. It took a little while to get there. In the immortal words of Mary J. Blige.
I don't know those words. What are the words?
It took a while to get me here. No, I'm going to take my time.
Ah.
No,
you learn
man,
something new every day.
Honestly, it's all right.
This is a cultural education as well as a Frisbee education. So that was Roxburgh, I believe, to score on that shot. We see some celebration on the field here in real time. We get to see this round from Simmons. Lovely weight to that. Really good in the wind. That inside shot from Chandra to set it up, though, is kind of what really broke open that offense.
You know, I take it back. I think Blow Your Mind was actually by Eve. That's all right. I'm back. I'm dialed in. I've corrected my mistakes.
I would have known it otherwise.
If I'd done the right thing and said the right name at the right time, everyone would have understood what was going on. That's crazy. WOOF up by 1 to send out their defensive side to kick things off. Some really, really solid Blackthorns offensive players taking the field now. Everyone's favorite Van Housen with a hand up.
This is a game where if you take your foot off the pedal mentally, it can be taken away from you really quickly. So, you know, you can, if you've had your last, other teams have had their last game of the day, and you can see them doing their warm down and stretching, and you still have a whole nother game to play. It can be tough mentally, so I'm looking to see these teams lock in when they need to when they're on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see a horizontal stack that they're going to use to get that lock in place. 3 handlers back, taking it from the brick mark.
Hudson now with the disc. Looks like it's match currently. A bit of a pull, a bit of a set play off that horizontal. We had a deep cut from the Blackthorns player to make space. Lots of players around the disc right now.
Yeah, doing a good job of sort of cycling in and out, but it'd be nice to see something develop a little bit more. We've got Luang with the disc there. Quick little offload, pushes through to Jesse Lee. Continues to Luang in power position, decides not to unholster that one.
There are quite a few players around the disc, but they are moving through the space, so it's an interesting combination of crowded but also cycling.
Great switched on offense there by Foster. Pushes back towards the far sideline for Luang. Lee available as the reset. Oh, can't connect with Hudson on the upline. It's going to give the disc back to WOOF.
A really zippy forehand for only a couple meters. Makes it a really hard catch to make. But those kinds of throws have been working. They've been working it down that high side well up until then. Some direction from the player with the disc for WOOF. And a little bit of contact there. There's been a lot of checking in this game. Hopefully the 2 teams can work out what an accepted level of contact is so that we don't have to have too many stoppages.
It's going to give the disc to the Blackthorns. It's Lee to Luang.
To Doran now. Some of these players are getting lots of touches and keeping the disc alive.
Doran back to Luang. Not too far away from a score here. Lee pinned in that back corner.
To Hudson. This is some consistent play for some, well, I spoke too soon, but that was some very consistent play for what is tight quarters Frisbee. Perhaps they play a lot of keep away during their warm-ups.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun game. It's a fun way to warm up. But also with the wind the way it is, it allows the defense to crowd a little bit. Any disc that's going to break through that defensive initial wall is going to catch the wind, and that's where we're going to start to see those errors creep in. So WOOF with a shot to come back the other way, though. Probably used to conditions like this. Oh, touch from Doran, but still up, recovered by WOOF.
Oh, and unfortunately, just the easy part of that continuation was where the mistake crept in.
Yeah, I think Doran snuck a finger in there.
Oh, okay. Previous years, I'm not sure about this year, but quite frequently the WOOF team is made up of a lot of students at Dunedin University, so it can be tough for them. They start their training later in the year because they all come to Dunedin for university. So sometimes it means that by the time nationals Division 2 rolls around, they haven't had as much chance to train. They make up for it in willingness.
Grit.
Grit, yes.
Yeah,
Grind, grit,
love a good bit of grit.
All of the above. And also enjoyment as well, you know.
If there's anyone who knows how to have fun, it's an Otago University student. Laser show. Oh, contact through that one, but no call. That's Lee with the block.
That's a good lesson in attacking the disc right there.
Absolutely. Up and over. Who's under it? 2-hand take. I think that might have been Evelyn Foster with the pull down.
Great connection with the disc there from Foster. Harvey on WOOF was right there as well, so being able to be assertive about attacking the disc paid off. So that's 2 holds in a row. I think it's been a bit of a swirly game. We've seen quite a lot of clumpy play. Not clumpy. Yeah, I think the wind means that there's quite frequently shorter. We're trying to make shorter throws. Wind is just otherwise going to take the disc away for some players.
Yeah, and the sort of the downfield effect of that is because the wind is discouraging those longer throws, players recognize that and try and give shorter passes to their handlers, but in doing so, that's where a lot of that clumping, I think, comes from. So all we really need for one of these teams to break that, break that stalemate is to just get off a really good, consistent long pass or 2 or 3 long ones in a row in a given point. And all of a sudden, hey, we can play in this wind. We can stretch things out. We can have a bit more structure and a bit more room to really work our magic on this match.
For defense against this short style play as well that Blackthorns are using, for WOOF, I'd love to see them, if they are trying to do more switches, that means that those players who are on the underside can stay and poach in the lane a little bit more, knowing that they're being backed up by their other players.
Yeah, definitely. Just one quick correction. It was Sewell with the score for Blackthorns there, not Foster. So we'll 1s and 4s, they look the same. We see the hand going up. Ewan puts it up. Touches down around the 2/3 mark with a little bit of rollback. WOOF to pick up.
Simmons with the disc, accompanied by Ursula and Chandran in the handler space.
It's a little too high, but manages to come down with it. Driving down that far sideline, finds Risbrook. Not able to work the continuation. We're going back the other way. Blackthorns getting involved. Goldstiver has it, puts it up.
Nice.
Looking for Ramsden. Or continue, not quite. Chandran secures the defense there.
She even had enough time, I think, to run onto that more. That's unfortunate. But sometimes you have to go early, and better to try and make that grab than to have it be D'd by somebody else.
Hammer over the top. Oh, good chase by Risbrook.
Good positioning there, just not able to actually get her hands to the disc.
Goldstiver on a great cut, immediately spinning back, trying to work with it. Chapello getting involved. Not Chapello, sorry, Giesler. Up and over, finding Ramsden. Hits the trailing edge, goes for Lorenzen.
Excellent continuation there, and Ramsden showing that those one-hand grabs are well within her arsenal.
Absolutely, and a good put away there for Hills Blackthorn to take the lead. So a hold and a break for them after WOOF's early answer in the game. Starting to see that rust getting shaken off. It's nice to see both of these teams working with it. It's a little bit extra precision.
There's a lot of responsibility being placed on the shoulder of a couple of players on the WOOF side. They're having to work with the disc and live with it a lot, and they have to make sure that they're still patient and not getting lazy in the release point that they're using. Lower is safer in these kinds of conditions, but it can be tough to be down near the ground a lot of the time, engaging, quads, glutes, core, everything.
100%, especially towards the end of the day.
So we have WOOF coming out on offense now. We see what might be leadership chatting in the middle there. These two seem to be a key part of the offense line for WOOF, but they aren't going on this time. So we are rotating through all the players. Simmons and Chandran, some of the more experienced players on the team that I'm aware of. I'm sure there's plenty of experience all over the place. Taking a little longer. Offense is meant to signal readiness first, so we are waiting on WOOF right now. This is a bit of a taller line from WOOF.
Well, I mean, although the wind is a little bit less consistent in terms of how much up and down we have, so we've got a really consistent cross breeze, but up until essentially this point here, we've had quite a dominant left to right wind as well. Not super strong in that direction, but certainly strong enough to make an impact. So if that keeps up, we're going to see WOOF with the wind at their back. So it might be a case of utilizing that height to just put up 50-50s and turn them into 70-30s.
3 cutters right in front of her, but no one to throw to. That was a tight mark there by the Roxburgh player, sorry, the Blackthorns player. I think the receivers on WOOF were a little bit too desperate to provide an out for Harvey.
So Hudson's going to bring it in at the near sideline. Doran available as the reset, cycles out through an upline cut. Sewell, but it's the huck going up to nobody.
I believe that was the Hudson's cut that she ended up pulling out of. Bit of a miscommunication. It was a nice put.
Yeah.
Had there been a cutter.
It's always the way. Liston to pick up, facing down against a zone defense from the Blackthorns.
Now Harvey with the disc, she had time to collect that high floaty throw. Chia now looking downfield, some quick movement. I really want them to spread out.
Yeah, just have that trust in the handler, I think, is the key thing.
Recognize that Australia is flooding that front, the handler space and try and work down the sides rather than through the middle. Looks like Australia has now gone to match. We heard a countdown on the sideline here. Might have been some kind of transition. Excellent D by Doroshenko there.
Huge touch there. Just great vision.
Saw that miles away.
Yeah, in a really, really good position. Then getting some early give-go movement with Hudson. Then it goes to Sewell, to Luang. Back through to Hudson again. It's turning a little early. Can Foster get under it? Oh, she got her hand there, but if you can scratch it, you should catch it.
Yeah, it's a bit punishing when it's that.
Don't get me wrong. That was a hard catch to make at the best of times. I mean, fantastic read by Foster as well. Just right underneath the disc, just had that little bit of a sharp edge on it. It's a hard take to make.
Blackthorns now able to set up their zone defense as well. They've gotten a chance with this slow walk up to really get into position, work on their comms.
Hudson on the mark.
There's room in this little space on the left here. Oh, that's unfortunate by the ankles. But
I have to wonder if they're trying to avoid utilizing it because it's on that low side, pulling the disc, where it's just going to make that zone more and more effective the longer they try and play against it. Oh, good steal. Well done by Harvey to shut that down.
She's been behind a lot of the movement against this zone at this point. Yeah, but if they can find their way through to number 26 here on our kind of left-hand side of the field, but quite far downfield, if she isn't attacking the disc under.
Oh, we're going to see an injury.
Bit of a moment on the field for the Blackthorns player. I'm not sure what happened, but fatigue gets to you towards the end of the day. Maybe an ankle, maybe a knee. She's walking off.
So Chapelot to take a substitution.
I believe that's Chapelot. Yeah, Chapelot. Hopefully she'll be able to play later on in the game. I think she might have gotten cleated, stood on that point.
We're going to see Jessie Lee substitute.
Yeah, there are spaces against the zone where, yes, you can attack from WOOF's point of view. You can attack upfield so that you're not risking a long throw, but you are gaining a different angle instead.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to kind of hitting those cuts a little too late, like a second or two too late. It's tough. It's something that it's hard to. It's easy to get tunnel vision against a junk sometimes, or a zone sometimes, and forget that those stranger-looking options are going to be more advantageous for you.
Pressure from Luang is going to generate the turn, and a couple of passes gets it in the hands of Dora and back to Hudson, pushing towards the near sideline. Luang with the bookends. We're going to call it. Hills Blackthorns with another break. They are 3-1 over WOOF.
Luang showing she can do it in the handler space and in the downfield space as well. Hard fought point though. Not an easy break for Blackthorns. Definitely
not. They had to work for it, and it's great to see, particularly in the last game of the day. They've played at least sort of 3 games already. This is either the 4th, possibly the 5th, depending. No, it wouldn't be, would it, if we've got pools of 4? No, so yeah, so this is their 4th game of the day for both of these teams. They're working really, really hard, capitalizing well on they're not bad throws. They're well-executed throws. There's just that little bit of miscommunication, the wind factor playing a role. It's just creating little windows, little gaps between thrower and receiver that Blackthorns are able to slip a hand in between and generate a turn. So 3-1, a couple of breaks there. Bookends for Luang. Great performance.
So, I mean, definitely the 4th game of the day. 5 games in a day would be a bit cruel.
Yeah, no, that...
Although I might be wrong, this may be the 5th. But, both teams have played the same number of games regardless.
Yeah.
So, Blackthorns kind of looking kind of downwind right now. I believe both teams came from playing on a field that was in a different orientation. So might have been that they've taken a few points to get used to what the wind is doing on this field.
Great pull there by Perryman. Picked up by Chandran. Zone defense again from the Blackthorns. Working hard. WOOF having to fight into the wind, so zone's a reasonable call to make here. Looks like they've collapsed a bit to match defense, possibly.
We're hearing some more counting from the sideline, which likely means transition. So they'll wait for WOOF to make a certain number of throws, and then they'll go to match. Ursula with some great flow, but actually a little too quick because it does hit the ground.
It's going to be enough.
Sometimes you want to make sure you're making fast decisions, but slow execution.
Yeah. A vertical stack for Blackthorns. It's Pyramid to pick up, supported by Ewan in the upfield space.
Ooh, and a nice take there from Ewan.
Big shot looking up, looking for Lorenzen or Goldstiver. Couldn't connect with either because they both went for it.
It's going to be a bit of a chat. I think they quickly came to the conclusion that it was their own teammate who had contacted them, but it's good to check in. Always tough when it's your own teammate. Don't want to blame anybody, but someone has to be at fault, right? So Chandran now trying to hit Ursula.
Manages to keep it.
And taken by Blackthorns. Now, WOOF have been setting up a lot of floaty passes. They have been pretty good at pulling quite a few of them down.
Lau going for that one a little bit early. Might have thrown Lorenzen off that reception, but both those players in a good position to take that throw. So really well found by Goldstiver to put that one up.
Roxburgh now looking at a wall of green in front of her. What a grab
Great
there.
take.
Young looking to find her teammate. Match being called by Blackthorns now. Ursula's got some big shots in her, so.
Ooh, off the hands.
I think that was not where Roxburgh expected that disc to be thrown to. WOOF trying to find their matchups quickly. I think they're a little bit confused about who's on who.
Ramsden goes to Ewan, puts the long shot up. Well reeled in.
That's what you want. You want to reward those throws.
I think that was Giesler with the pull down there for the score, and another back-to-back break for the Blackthorns. Might have to change their names to the Hills Breakthorns if they keep this up.
Good job. Good job.
Thanks. Thank you. I'm out here doing my best. But my best cannot possibly compare to the effort that both of these teams are putting out on this field, on offense and on defense. Game's looking a little bit one-sided at the moment, but WOOF are still definitely working hard. They're stringing together a number of passes in a really, really good sort of flow, a really nice sequence. Blackthorn's just able to interrupt that flow and able to swing back the other way with a really, really solid amount of power behind those throws, which I think is what might be making up the difference at the moment.
Yes, Blackthorns are really using the wind in a way that WOOF are fighting in a way that WOOF aren't. WOOF are fighting the wind instead. They're trying to just throw as well. Some of them are trying to throw just as zippy as they can to get it to the receiver, whereas Blackthorns are have potentially a bit more experience about how best to use the wind. WOOF now with another offensive opportunity.
And so it is number 4 for the Hills Blackthorns. Chapello back after that earlier injury substitution, which is great to see.
So have you seen this team play before in New Zealand, or was it in Australia?
Not in New Zealand, yeah.
Maybe they enjoyed your commentary so much that they came over here to play for you again.
I have a sneaking suspicion it's the exact opposite, and I'm about to get jumped in an alley after this game's finished. But hey, small price to pay to bring you. Great ultimate, fielded well by WOOF. Harvey with the disc now against, again, that Blackthorn zone. Lu Eng a little bit close on the mark. Puts it up and around. Oh, not able to connect.
That's a lower percentage likelihood throw, but also they have just been struggling with moving it instead in the handler space. So they're trying now to instead throw over the top instead. If one thing doesn't work, then you do sometimes have to just try something different. Big chase by Harvey, but still finds we find the break side now.
Sewell gets the connection through to Chapello, and a one-touch right through to Hudson for the score. Hills Blackthorns now on 5 over WOOF's 1.
These past couple points have been a bit quicker. The first few were as I said, potentially working out what the wind is like on this field. But it seems like Blackthorns now have got it dialed in, know what they're doing.
They definitely look like it. It's working really, really well for them. They're just having a sequence, and yes, there's wind, but they're not forcing anything. It's looking like, oh yeah, we've been here before. We know what this is like. But as you say, WOOF, you know, this is relatively close to the start of the university year. They've only likely returned and only been able to get to practicing within the last maybe 2 months. Whereas a lot of other teams, you know, particularly with the structure of the New Zealand season, once the mixed season finishes in, you know, mid to late November, people take a couple weeks off and then come back in sort of beginning of January. So we're seeing the end of sort of a 3.5-month season, or about a 3-month season. So that difference.
There's also a case of if you're traveling all the way over from Australia, it's potentially indicative of a bit more of a higher level of required commitment. Just if you've made it all the way over here, you're probably a little bit more,
You're locked in on Ultimate a little bit. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
You don't end up here by accident if you're an Australian.
There was an episode of Full House though, where the oldest daughter DJ got on a flight to Auckland instead of Oakland. So it's a little fun TV trivia history there for you. WOOF.
Emphasis on history.
WOOF are going to start things off. Chandra in with a miscommunication is going to give the disc back in the danger zone.
Ursula made a big huck fake there. Maybe she should have just thrown it instead.
Lau picks up, marked match, hits the break.
Beautiful break throw.
Finds Van Housen, nicely done in the end zone. No, Ramsden, sorry.
Great disciplined break throw there. Getting low to the ground, making sure she has her balance. You get to see that again now. Yeah, really reaches out to throw that. Those are the kind of throws that quite often I find myself throwing high releases instead and regretting it immediately. So as well, a great conservation of energy for Blackthorns that point. Quick turn, quick score. And a long walk, unfortunately, for WOOF.
It's always the way. I always find that to be like, I mean, it's a reasonable thing and it makes a lot of sense. Okay, you've scored, you start from that end so that you're constantly swapping. Because if you score and you walk back the other way, the wind will stay the way that it is. And so it's an unfair thing, but there's the part of me that always looks at it as a case of, oh, you couldn't score that point, go jog, go do some extra conditioning. It's like, how is that fair?
Absolutely. I got, when I was learning how to play, I was told losers walk.
Yeah, winners jog.
So I wonder what, trying to arrest this momentum that Blackthorns now have, it's become tough for WOOF to break through that first section of the zone that Australia is throwing.
Definitely. If
they can live with the disc long enough and wait for them to go to match, potentially that's a way of working it, but they haven't had the luck with that strategy yet.
Yeah, I mean, something that I'd be interested to see how WOOF were able to implement, something we've seen a lot of teams use already, which is actually pull one of your downfielders back and run a 4-handler set to really stretch the width. Particularly against a zone where you've got those Blackthorn players up the front, they're having to do a lot of running to cover the disc. The more you can make them run, the slower you're going to make them, the more opportunities you're giving yourself to break around that zone.
And
one touch and done.
Great move there, Lu Hing. That was absolutely predictable by her. Second
bookends of the game for Lu Hing off the hands of, I believe that was, off the throw from Hudson. But yeah, Lu Hing with the touch, bookends again with the score. And that is going to be our half-time. So the score is 7-1, Hills Blackthorns over WOOF. Now, we've seen a scoreline that mirrored this already. And the second half didn't go nearly as smoothly as the first. So we'll see whether or not Hills Blackthorns are going to prove themselves to be the first team to really put on the same level of performance in the second half as they do in the first. But we won't know until we come back. So until then, my name is Blair Munro.
My name is Rachel Siahani Royal.
And we'll be back very, very soon for the last half of a game for the first day of the 2026 Division 2 Ultimate Championships in Ototahi, Christchurch. Stay with us.
always on the move? You can keep up to date with Alti TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Oh my goodness! That is unbelievable! And bring it to Chen and me!
That was absolutely incredible.
And we are back, folks. An exciting last game of the day for the 2026 Division 2 Ultimate Championships. We've got Hills Blackthorn from New South Wales, Australia, facing off against WOOF from Otago. Hills Blackthorns are going to start at this point on offense, bringing the disc in from the far sideline.
Oh, nice little grab there. Some good, great flow from Blackthorns, but holstering when they need to. They've that little floaty, fluttery disc just didn't quite make it into the hands of
Doran.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Simmons now to pick up the disc. Cuts to the same space from the WOOF players, which is hard to throw to when you have the disc in your hands.
Managing to get that connection, though, which is great to see. Liston had it, continues on, but it's going to be touched by Jesse Lee for the turn.
Blackthorn get another chance. We see Lee picking up the support for Doran now.
Yeah.
3 handlers available for her. Happy to give go, happy to throw and go. Ooh, that's
a lot of collision. But hey, we got the turn.
yeah, there were quite a few WOOF players under that disc, and it was not accurate enough. But WOOF now needing to work a bit of distance. Ursula looking downfield. Great floaty pass. Some pointing here from bed.
Ursula getting blindsided a little bit.
We see the disc now being moved to Doran.
Goes through to Foster.
I like this flow. This is a kind of intuitive style play, although they probably have drilled it. What looks like intuition when you're watching is probably a lot of experience playing with each other. And playing in a way where you're allowed to try out different things and figure out what does work so that you get to the point where it looks easy. And the wind catching that throw, it flies out the back. A little bit too much zip on that.
A little bit much dip on the chip.
That's usually a good thing.
You would think, yeah.
But a long field ahead for the WOOF players now. They've shown they can work it out at this point. They talked about something at half that worked for them, so hopefully they're able to put that into play again. We see the zone once again from Australia, but Simmons with a great read.
Really great read, pushing the disc with that front edge up into the high side, into the wind. A risky move, but Simmons was able to pull that one down. Liston circling back around behind, trying to keep possession alive for WOOF.
It seems like Blackthorns are now going into match. Ursula taking the disc, and we're now moving it out laterally, which I would have liked to have seen, but it was too far laterally instead. We see now Chapelot with the disc.
Goes to Foster in the midfield. Chapelot cutting across the front, getting the second option. No, it's Doran. Up and around. And Jesse Lee pulls that one in for Blackthorn's first point of the half.
No, there were no up calls for the WOOF defender there to potentially turn around and have a go at a D on that disc. It was always heading straight towards the hand of the Blackthorns player. Maybe if she had turned around, she could have put some pressure on it though, but without a sideline to tell you that, it's a bit tough. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Great read there by Lee.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. It's when you're not sure where the disc is and you don't have the kind of experience that tells you, hey, quickly find the disc. If nothing else, use my player's eyes. Where are they looking? Can I find the disc? Can I make a play? Just trying to essentially give them a screen, something to have to work around, but a good player can always find a way around that. Jesse Lee was able to pull that one down. Blackthorns are now up by 7. The score is 8 over WOOF's 1. WOOF to come out on offense now.
It seems like WOOF have lost a few of their stalwart players that they had last year. They work on a lot of development, but sometimes when you lose a couple of experienced players in the same year, the team can take a hit, basically. Not to say that they're not having an enjoyable season, but just some names that we've seen previous years that are no longer playing in this division. So WOOF taking a little bit of time on the line, organizing their offense. We've seen that transition zone from Blackthorns. I anticipate we'll see it again. Hopefully we see WOOF not trying to force it through the middle continually when those sides and the spaces on the sides are really open. As you mentioned earlier, another handler. I think they're currently working with two and a half, like 3, 4 and a half. Sorry, 3 or 4 would be good.
Not quite making that adjustment. Like, looks like they are.
Yeah,
They're pulled back into that 4-handler set, but immediately shut down.
A great recognition by Gisela there. She had her eyes on the throw. She knew exactly where that was going to go. Ewan now looking for the disc again.
Lau with an option, looking for Lorenzen, just outside.
And to Ewan to finish it off.
Great sequence there. Just such an explosive cut. Plenty of separation. More like Roxy Lorenz zone, am I right? What's up? Nailed it.
You should go let her know.
No, no. That's all right. Don't want to throw off a mental game.
A great cut from Ewan. She did that, or did a little swing, started cutting, and then just never stopped and ended up in the end zone. We see that great Z from Gisela again.
Yeah, just straight up, both hands. Yeah. Like, how do you look like you're running normally when everything else is in slow motion? That's ridiculous. And again, yeah. So Ewan comes wide for Lau, and then you can see as well, shaping to get the next option. And that really is, I think, one of the key things, particularly when you're going to see someone who does a lot of work in the handler space or around that midfield, recognizing, hey, I'm going to make a pass. I'm not going to get the next option, but can I be that option's option?
Absolutely, and especially if you do have a couple meters on your player and you've recognized that they're not going to be able to make that distance up, how can I maintain that distance? You never want to be cutting back towards your defender just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
You don't want to give them the advantage that they lost because they weren't able to anticipate where you were going to go. You see that with a lot of newer players. They are poached, and because of where the space is on the field, they end up running back towards the defender, and it's you want to train someone to look at where the space is on the field. So we see Chandran looking to pick up the disc on the low side. Once again, the zone. We have 3 handlers back. Ursula to receive the disc, but Chandran's insides have been great this game.
Absolutely.
Really utilizing those to break the zone.
Ooh, an uncharacteristic bobble there.
Roxburgh just not able to hang on to that. Gives it back. Oh, and a bobble in return.
That's all right. That's just turnabout's fair play, right? Ursula goes through, hits on the far sideline.
I'd love to see some longer shots from Ursula. I know she has them in her arsenal.
Yeah, even in this wind, I think would still be pretty comfortable. Lee with the intercept goes through to Hudson. Hudson and Lee, we've seen this pairing work pretty effectively and continuing to do so. Going through to Chapello.
Hudson doing a great job of using her defender's momentum against her. Excellent. And Doran with the score on her toes. Great footwork.
Yeah, Blackthorns going to double digits. It is 10-1 in a race to 13.
But yes, that experience of seeing that your defender has committed themselves to a certain direction and being able to just step one stride in the opposite direction, all of a sudden you're very open. Something, it's really punishing when you're a newer player and you can't understand why your matchup is getting free all the time.
It's a frustrating learning curve to climb.
Absolutely. So hopefully WOOF's coach is on the side. We have seen someone on the sideline talking to the team. I'd love to see them trying to give them some new information or new advice. It's hard when you're just not getting to that flow, that chance to connect enough throws that you feel like you're playing your own game. Instead, you feel like you're constantly playing against what the other team is doing.
Yeah.
And so maybe a little bit of different advice would be useful compared to trying to emphasize doing the same thing, but better. But we don't know what the coach is telling them. It's a tough task being a coach, because if you do a good job and your team plays well, it's pretty, they did a good job, and if you do a bad job, and
it's your fault for not having got them to do better. And I mean, you're speaking from a little bit of experience there. You were involved in coaching for a team during the mixed season recently. And we'll say no more about that. WOOF are going to pick things up. It's going to be Chandran again approaching the disc, supported in the upfield space. Only 2 handlers this time, though. So that match defense looks to be effective, but not quite. No, not enough on that throw.
Not
enough on the cut, something.
Not quite late enough on the throw, but that's exactly what we haven't seen from WOOF.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we want to punch through the zone that they're throwing and make them, make Australia, Blackthorns try something different. We see an accepted foul or strip call there. That did seem like it was a little bit after the Blackthorns player had control. But the body positioning from Chandran was good. It was clean.
Yeah, clean bodies, I think, is the key thing. You know, like a strip, okay, you can make the argument, but, you know, positional maintain. Ramsden hitting the up line, going back through to Gisela. Up for Ewan, but it's a little high. Oh, Lau couldn't connect.
Lau was pretty close there for considering what that throw came out looking like.
Absolutely. It manages to still get hands to it, knock it forward for an attempt at the second shot, but it wasn't going to be the one. Right in the coffin corner. Hard spot to play out of.
Harvey now looking downfield. We see the zone again. She's not really getting a lot in front of her in terms of options. Simmons not able to put enough spin on that inside shot that we have seen very successfully from from Chandran so frequently this game.
Oh, there's a foul called on that one. Yeah, an uncharacteristic throw from Ewan, just seeing how quickly it peeled down. And that's going to be an accepted foul. So Ewan will retain possession. Play's going to resume. Lau pushing towards the end zone. Gisela gets the reset, cuts through. Who's under it? Oh, great recovery by Goldstiver. There it is. Oh, and a travel called on the throw.
I think there was a change in direction as Goldstiver went to look downfield.
The only objection I have to that call is that it ruins my Lorenzo joke a second time. That's okay.
And we see that, there were maybe a couple of extra steps.
More than a couple, yeah, okay. Finishing strong, putting the big crossfield shot up to Perryman to put that one away.
And that's another point on the board for Blackthorns. We are, I was going to say it was a game point potentially for them, but no, it came to 13, so they have got a little bit more work to do before they get to go back to their accommodation.
Rest, recover, come back ready for tomorrow, because with the way that the women's division has their pools set up, so 8 teams split across 2 pools of 4, we've moved into bracket play. So the winner of this game will get an opportunity to play in a semis tomorrow morning. The flip side being for the open division, with only 7 teams in the division, they're having just an open pool round robin before moving into I guess I'm assuming a top seeding versus second to figure out how those things work out.
It might be that top seed goes through.
Just top seed goes through for 7 teams, 1 pool.
That's up for the TD to battle.
Yeah. That's tomorrow's problem. Today's problem
is the wind.
Is the wind, yeah, pretty much. And how can WOOF claw back this deficit?
Or even just try and solidify their learning so far this day and this game as well. If they going through to tomorrow's games, it'll be closer to their seed, and so hopefully the games will be closer as a result. And sometimes this game is a game of trying to learn, but not trying to expend any undue effort.
Yeah.
Saving yourself for a full day tomorrow too, where you can really bring it to the teams that you're playing. Nice pull, nice distance. Yeah,
great pull from Chapelo. Touches down.
Great balance as she threw that as well.
You love to see it. Roxburgh pushes to Ursula, far sideline. Back to Roxburgh. Doran tries to take a bite. She's out of position. WOOF have managed to get the disc moving. Up and over, slight overthrow is going to give it back to the Blackthorns.
It's just happened to them so frequently. They are more confident with those more direct throws and those leading throws that when WOOF tried to throw a leading throw, it's turning out to be too far. But that was good space to throw to. And we have
Lu Ing goes through to Hudson, near sideline, right around the halfway mark. Engaging Lee.
Good
2 hands.
there from Lee. Oh,
putting it up, looking for Lu Ing. Inbounds.
I feel like Lee had multiple receivers there that it could have been for.
Absolutely, but a great find. I think that might be Lewing's second bookends and third score at this point. So really, really great work. Blackthorns 1 away from a win. Seeing a lot of high fives, but they're not into team high. Oh, there are a couple of into team high fives.
So WOOF are going to try and double their score on this offensive point. They're trying to get to 2 right now. That's great. That was really catchable for a long time, and it was also thrown away from the side of the defenders. So whilst it wasn't the zippiest, most direct throw, it didn't need to be because she had the right angle on it, making it a really tough bid for a defender. They'd have to accelerate in massive acceleration to get there. So great shot. Fun throw to be on the receiving end of.
Nice and easy. Well reeled in.
We see another game on another field finishing up. In the background just here, I believe is Babe Ladies and Fresh Hops. But on this field, Blackthorns have the opportunity at this point to finish their day. We see the pole coming up from Lorenzen. Hoping to stretch out the field so that her team can get an early turn and finish this off.
An absolute whip of a pull. Sands with a bit of touch and roll, landing maybe 3 or 4 meters in front of the brick mark on the defensive half for WOOF. Challenger to pick up that same horizontal stack. 3 back, 4 in the downfield. Match defense as the, dominantly from Hills Blackthorns. Lau there to secure that touch. Lorenzen goes early.
Great discipline there. Great discipline, Lorenzen. Ooh,
Puts
and a low release, but a floaty disc.
One hand take, and it looks like that is in.
A little bit of chat, and then the game is then conceded. So
Brittany Lau to finish that one. Off an assist from Roxy Lorenzen as Hills Blackthorn go 13 over WOOF's 1. What a game. What a way to close out the first day of the 2026 Division 2 Ultimate Championships here in Ōtautahi, Christchurch at Hagley Park North. If you're in the area, come on down tomorrow, our second day of the tournament, as we move into the later stages of the tournament. We're going to have some really, really close matchups for you. But until then, my name is Blair Munro.
my name's Rachel Siohani Royal.
And if you like what you see, head on over to patreon.com/ultitv and give us your spare change. Help us bring the best sport in the world to your screens and to fields near you. But thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again in the next one.
Ulti.tv